Bounce back after, oh, okay. I'm really proud of how we bounced back after a long couple weeks and a long trip. So learned a lot of lessons. I think got, really disappointed, but got everybody back, regrouped, and got better. So I think we played a lot better today.
A lot of transition plays, but it seems like in the half court, there's not a lot of movement going on.
I thought more movement now than in the past. I think we just tend to get really stagnant against the zone. Just understanding where to pass the ball, not playing so high, not just having the ball pass around the perimeter. But I thought we moved it better than we have in the past, and we turned it over less than we had been. I look, it's like, oh, we did better, but we still had 19. But we're even. We've had a negative assist to turnover ratio for a while, so this is work in progress. And it's not an excuse, but some of the groups are very difficult, like groups together. So there's some people that are kind of really high turnover prone. I had a lot of them together because we need to also get experience, and we had less depth today, less depth. So, some of those combinations are tough, but I thought that, the main ball handlers like Jada did better. I think Paulina did better. Montea had a couple that she could have taken away, but overall, we're getting better. But we still have a lot of work fundamentally to do, like balance. You saw Sky. Sky was different today. Sky was jump stopping on under control. She had one offensive foul, but I'll take that. It was a jump stop. Instead of running in, kind of going, I thought she did a great job of that. And then just, Montea, some of her turnovers, she's like 2 legs falling out of bounds. Ja, we have to work on her fundamentals. Some of the passes are just really hard passes. So you have to show film and teach, and that's part of having a young team. But we have to now, address it and get better. And we've been kind of working on it and talking about it.
What did you see in Paulina today? She's had 4 leading up to this. She's been playing much better, 4 good games. But tonight, she did even more. She was more aggressive.
Tonight, not only more aggressive, more confident, more really looked for opportunities. Yeah, a lot better defensively. I think you see her defense improving. I think before in areas where she wouldn't take risks, she kind of did a little. I'm not saying risk to get out of position. I'm saying aggressive in her body positioning. A couple games ago, she would have just gotten blown by, and it's a 5-on-4. So much better job. I thought she was confident in that. I thought she did a great job of changing direction and speed getting to the basket. And she's a really good finisher. If you watch her, she's super strong upper body, and she finishes well, and she creates space well. I thought she played awesome today. 10 for 13 for a guard, 22 points, 8 assists, 3 steals. That's a phenomenal game for her. I thought she played the best game yet, and I think she can play like that a lot. I'm proud of her.
From Taya in her first career start.
Taya's awesome. Taya has a really high basketball IQ. I thought she did a tremendous job on the boards. She pursued offensive rebounds. We haven't really had anybody to really go in and pursue offensive rebounds. Even the ones that she didn't get, she tipped them, and she was a presence in there. Now it's the strength of holding on to, because some of them she'll get, and then they get taken. But that's a part of getting the game back and getting stronger. She has to get stronger. But I thought she was relentless as pursuing them. And then just if you watch her, she's a very smart player that's very calm. So a lot of times against a zone press or against a 1-3-1, everybody's moving the ball like it's a hot potato and we're turning it over. She is a calm presence that's not rushed and plays at the same pace, which I like. Her and Paulina do that well together. She knows where to pass the ball. The ball reversed more with her. She's just smart. And for us, she can play the 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's also valuable for us. And she's doesn't. If you look, it doesn't seem like she's playing good defense, but she doesn't really get blown by. She might not be out there denying to half court, but she uses her length, and she pretty much keeps people in front of her. Doesn't get beat backdoor a lot. So she's just solid. And I thought, and she's one of the few players that has a positive assist to turnover ratio. So that's an important stat. So I'm proud of the way she played today. And she doesn't need 15 shots. And that's not, I want her to be more aggressive offensively, but she plays within herself. So you always know I love players like Helena, Sam Thomas. They're the players that are the the stat stuffers. And they don't need 15 shots, but they still really affect the game. And that's what she did. 4 assists. She had 3 turnovers. A couple of those were just getting kind of pushed out. 5 steals. That's a really, in the highest rating. I mean, so that's solid for us. And 38 minutes, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize she played 38. That's why she was dying. Montea playing 38. Now, if she couldn't have played 38 minutes a month ago, she would have probably fell out on the sideline. So that's progress, too.
And what do you say about the reserves who came in, in the fourth quarter and, wow, they held the other team to 2 points.
points.
Their defense was good. They got a 10-second violation. You were
Yeah.
doing a lot of good things there.
Yeah, so that's, with a really young group of a combination that I don't really think is great together. Like all the new young players together is not good for turnovers and stuff like that. So I thought they did a really good job because that was deep into our bench. A lot of inexperienced players playing together. Still more turnovers than I'd like, but I mean, they did a good job of holding down a team that was kind of killing us for a while in the second quarter. So I thought great job. I thought it was good for us to give them experience and confidence because we're down a little bit. I knew I wasn't playing Lauren tonight. She was a little banged up. She was available, but I wasn't going to play her unless I had to. I knew that if I could, I wanted to rest Jada a little bit. I wanted to rest, Sky a little bit. They were available, but if you're banged up, I'd rather you sit. Then we were out. We didn't have ISIS. So that was going to have us play certain combinations, but I thought everybody did a really good job. I thought Jaw just, kind of forced a couple things and just need to show her on film to reverse it. And she can have a lot of those drives, but a lot of times the habit of, and young players tend to do this, if the ball comes from this side, I don't want to reverse it and drive back this side. Then you get turnovers, gets congested. But if she sometimes would have those great drives, going to her right, she's athletic, she's going to get to the rim. So you have to show film. She's really good when you show her film and explain it, and then get some game experience. You think of Ja, Montea, JR, Katarina, Maylene, they don't have experience. Paulina was injured a lot last year. So they're now, getting used to things, getting their legs back, getting stronger again. And I kept on saying with Montea, it's time. But it is with Ja, too. She was out for a long time. So, she's got to learn, and they all have to learn. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. Progression, not perfection, right?
ISIS is concussion, right?
Yeah. And it's really on the back end of it. But it's like, we have some big games coming up, and she wasn't feeling 100%, so there's no reason to push her. And it was in practice. So. And then I wanted to give Erin some more minutes, but Erin just is so great. Like, she's a great teammate. And I love the way they're so happy when she goes in the game. Like, the whole bench cheers, and they want her to do good. She works so hard. She's a great person, and so I'm just always happy. But, I wanted to find some more minutes for her.
And the problems with your starters picking up 2 fouls in that first quarter, and it's repeating. I mean, what has to happen for those, especially, Bray and Sky in particular?
Yeah, so a lot of their fouls come from, they don't box out. So Sky and Brea are getting better, they have to be super intentional about boxing out because then the fouls will come from that. Or getting out of position, reaching for a ball, and then the guards get beat, and then Brea. But I'm talking to Brea about, even in that situation, don't go for the block in that situation. You have one. The second one you're going to sit. So being a little bit more disciplined to really go straight up because you already have one. So that's it. But she's way better this year doing that, way smarter. But then Sky's usually result in a missed box out because she's so athletic. She's never, her and Ja have never had the box out. So they do a little bit. But then someone else, and then you get fouls like that. So just being a little bit smarter, being more mentally focused on that because that's not a huge technique thing. It's a little bit technique, but it's a lot of mental focus to remember that, and then it's habits. So just creating better habits in that sense. And Brea, too, is boxing. I'd say overall as a team, just more intentional about that. And we've talked about that a lot, and we're working on that daily. So that and turnovers are daily work, and it's still work. We have a lot of work to do. But we're young, and we're improving, and that's the thing. And I wanted to see how we responded after a tough Palm Springs trip. And we got our butts kicked 2 games. And then being without Brea and Brea coming back, just 2 of our 3 losses have been without our best players. So it's not an excuse we got outplayed. We would have probably lost the game anyways in that sense, the way we played. But at NAU, and it was I'm not making an excuse at all. because those teams outplayed us. They deserved to win the game for sure, but it was a really hard stretch for us. Like cross country, back, and the games were just the way the schedule is. The games were like really tight, and we were very fatigued. So we have depth and stuff, but it was just it was a tough period because now we're home for a few weeks. We're like, yes, we haven't really had that. We've been gone for weeks, so with hard travel and stuff, but it is what it is.
Got GCU up next.
Very
and,
good team.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a couple big wins, so, I mean, what do you guys need between now and then?
Well, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure Jada and Sky weren't playing heavy minutes, and we'll have Lauren back. We'll have everybody back, which is great. They're a really good team, and they're playing at a high level. They're going to press us. They're going to be in our shorts, and we're turning the ball over. So we have to take care of the ball. Or else it's going to be a long night. But we're at home, which is positive. We're just coming off a pretty good game and recouping after the losses. So I think we're ready, but we know they're really good, and they can beat us. And we have to play a good game to beat them. We know that. So, but taking care of the ball, rebounding, and transition defense is going to be really important. So I'm glad we were better at that today. Now, some people, we still got a lot of work to do, but it's just, and it's not one person. It's like everybody, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's like all of us. So that tells me as a coach, like, that's on me. They need fundamentals. Because I can't just say to a team, stop turning the ball over. It's not because the knowledge and the understanding of where the passings go and the timing and where the passing angles, like, you have to teach that. Because that fundamental isn't there if you watch. So it's not all about the turnover, like a bad pass or a bullet pass. It's like, I can't make a post-entry pass way above the three-point line. It's going to be a turnover. And if it's not a turnover this game, it's going to be against the better team. So showing on film. So we're making them, with pressure at practice, dribble below the free throw line extended to make a post-entry pass. And like having them understand, I think there's no understanding. Or like, like they said back in the day, fake a pass to make a pass. That's cliche, but you got to fake a pass against zone. You can't be like that. Like, it's just the fundamentals of that, like, and balance. A lot of our players, you're off balance, like leaning over, making a turnover. Like, those are passes you don't need, and you don't have to force a pass. If I see you're not open, I can always dribble, and I can always fake a pass somewhere else. So those things, it sounds basic and elementary, but it's not taught to the freshmen coming in. Or they don't have those basic fundamentals. So when you have a young team, you have to teach and you have to work on it daily. So it is like daily work, and we'll be better in a month, but you don't want to be losing in that month, right? So it's hard. So that's why you guys don't ever want to coach, right? Yeah, or teach. So, all right, you guys good? You good? Okay, thank you. Here's the mic. I love those mics, those small ones. This needs to be bedazzled.